welcome to Everyday Stories on our Homestead. I'm your host, Scott Allen Westoff, and today we're going to talk about work. It's a lot of work. No, let me start with this story. This is of my dad and how he was trying to teach me how to work. I mean, there was hundreds, if not thousands, of instances of this. But I'll tell you about one time when we needed wood to put in the stove. We had a wood-burning stove that kept our house warm. Did a fantastic job of it. Dad had pulled it out, put the stove in the middle of the room. We always filled it with hedge, which burned really hot, and heated the whole house, but especially around that stove. But this day, he says, we gotta bring some wood in. And I was a little kid, I didn't want to help, and I was throwing a fit, so he got me outside, and we started loading wood. At least he did. And I was complaining. I was like, I'm so cold. He says, well, if you move more and put some wood in this wheelbarrow, you'll be warmer. I thought work was a four-letter word that I just had to avoid. But he taught me that work is actually the root word of joy. He said, you know, as soon as we get this filled, we get it in there, we're gonna have a nice big fire, and you'll get totally warm by the fireplace. So I eventually got up, got moving. He was right. The more I moved, the warmer I got. We got the wood in, and we started a fire, and we had the whole house warm, but especially around that stove. And it felt so good. Had I not worked for that, I would have just taken it for granted. I would have had no idea how warm it would be because I wouldn't have known how stinking cold it was outside. We've got to have opposites. And I learned a lot from my dad. I learned about working together to create something great. And we can create so much more when we work together. If he had done it, it would have taken him forever. And granted, I was a little kid and I wasn't a huge amount of hope for help. I wasn't a lot of help. But I tried and I got better and better as the years gone on. I was able to cut and split wood by hand and heat with that wood the whole time I was growing up in that house. It was wonderful. It was a great experience, even though I complained and hemmed and hawed. Dad would often say, you'll feel better once we're done. We would always do these search projects, help somebody move, help somebody with this, help somebody with that. Food, whatever it was they needed help with, and whether they took advantage of it or not, we would go and help. And I complained a lot, sadly, but I complained a lot. And he would be like, oh, when we're done, you'll feel better. And then a lot of times we would help somebody move, or we'd help them with some food or whatever their needs were. Did service all the time. And he would ask me at the end, how do you feel? I feel great. I just helped somebody. Couldn't do it themselves. Maybe they could have done some of it themselves, but we helped them and got it done in less time than they could have possibly done it without our help. It felt good. And that's why we work together. That's why we create synergy. What do you want to learn in the process? I'm here to help you. I'm good at building marketing websites that actually do all the selling by you through your site, and it takes one salesperson. That's you. And that's awesome. If you ever worked with salespeople, I had a call center at one time. I had about 20 people in there making calls, selling everything, trying to get things going. Salespeople are a lot of work and very energized to make a ton of money. It's wonderful when you can sell things by recording it once, making a webinar. You might do it a lot of times, and I suggest you do it a whole lot of times, but you can be your only salesperson and you keep all the profits instead of paying commissions. Websites are beautiful. If you'd like to start a conversation about building your marketing website, email me at scott@profitablehomesteadproject.com and put in the subject line, start the conversation, so I can actually find it amongst the thousands of emails I receive. Love you. Create a great day.
This podcast is for real homesteaders who want to make their greatest contributions through self-sufficiency and perseverance. We are on a mission to renew the land, empower communities, live abundantly, and leave a legacy. We work hard to bless our families, communities, and the land we all share. If you're ready to make your homestead more influential, then you need to become more profitable. Let's leave this earth better than we found it. Subscribe now and join me on this journey.